Hi everybody, I'm Jack the Rambling Raconteur. I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're having a great week. It is Tuesday, so I thought I'd throw together a quick Tag Tuesday book tag, and it's the delightful Jane Austen at-home tag from Tilly at Tilly's Shelf, an amazing channel, just an amazing channel. And then I was kindly tagged by Christina from Knitting Books, etc., and I will link both of those videos in the description box below. But let's jump into these prompts. Welcome home. Prompt 1, Mansfield Park, which incidentally is the book I'm reading to participate in Jane Austen July, and I'm enjoying it, which is no surprise. The grandeur of the house astonished, but could not console her. Name a grand book. Well, feels like the grandest of books, but that would be Middlemarch by George Eliot, a book that conjures an entire world, all springing from one mind, that is just filled with individuals, and not just characters, but true individuals with personalities and minds and hopes and dreams and shattered hopes and shattered dreams. And it's just amazing. And it's a world that I think is familiar to many readers. But another world, a book that conjures a world that is not as familiar to as many readers, and one that I would encourage readers to become more familiar with, is the world created by the amazing, portable 19th century African-American women writers book that Penguin Classics published. And rather than just spring from the mind of one writer, as Middlemarch does, it has over 52, I want to say it's exactly 52, it's over 50 writers represented in here. It has individual narratives, slave narratives, but also biographical narratives post-slavery, essays on education, on freedom, on gender. It has some fiction, it has poetry. It's just filled with so many different ideas, so many different voices that really creates this entire world from a segment of society that so rarely has a light shown upon it. So it's a book I just want to encourage people to check out. Prompt 2, Barton Cottage from Sense and Sensibility. In comparison of Norland, it was poor and small indeed. Name a book about a household in desperate circumstances. Well, emotionally, it would be every household depicted in a play by Henrik Ibsen. I wanted to get a drama shout out because Roz and Tilly do so many great discussing drama videos. So Ibsen. But another dramatist who has this would be the great Sam Shepard in his play Buried Child, a play that is haunting. And this is a great edition with the 7 plays. It has True West, but it has Buried Child, which is a terrifying family to encounter. The other one, and one that I think shows that families don't have to be, impoverished to feel that they're in desperate circumstances, would be The World and the Family in God Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert, where we see that House Atreides, after multiple millennia of Leto II running the show, is a bit of a disaster. So it's not all about money. Prompt 3, Hartfield from Emma. I believe few married women are half as much mistress of their husband's house as I am of Hartfield. Name a book you feel entirely the mistress of. Well, it would have been Gilgamesh. But ever since that extra tablet was discovered, I've just felt a chapter behind. Now, a book I feel truly the mistress of would be the excellent Picnic in Paradise by Joanna Russ. I have it in the American Science Fiction 4 Classic Novels of the 1968 to 1969 that Library America did. But it's published in The Adventures of Alex as well. And Alex is our tour guide. She's a time-traveling warrior from ancient Phoenicia. And she conjures just as much energy and skill as Conan the Barbarian. So I would feel very comfortably being in her tour. She's amazing. Now, Tilly had said mistress or master of, so I want to also add that I feel the master of Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce, and one becomes a master or mistress of Finnegan's Wake by realizing that one does not need to become a master or mistress of Finnegan's Wake, because it might just be Dr. Seuss without pictures and a lot longer. I know there are people who enjoy it. Prompt 4, Fullerton from Northanger Abbey. Now there was nothing so charming to her imagination as the unpretending comfort of a well-connected parsonage, something like Fullerton. Name a book containing a contented family. Well, the one that comes to mind, and one that shows that a contented family is a family that has community, and that has relationships that are not transactional, would be The Family of Rabbits in Watership Down by the great Richard Adams. This is a copy I've had for about 31 years now, and it's just an amazing book. But another family that learns contentment within the story would be The Family in the Monkey's Paw by W.W. Jacobs. And the reason I say it, you might think, well, like, horrible things happen to that family. The moral of the story is to be contented with what you have and be careful what you wish for. So if they haven't learned to be content after the horrible things that happen in that story, I don't know if they ever will. So I think they're about as content as they'll ever be. Prompt 5, Rosings Park from Pride and Prejudice. He declared he might almost have supposed himself in the small summer breakfast parlor at Rosings, a comparison that did not at first convey much gratification. Name a book that other books are constantly being compared to. Well, I had mentioned drama. I wanted to discuss drama. I think that a book that is frequently used as a reference point and used in a way that is too general and doesn't get at the heart of it is when people make comparisons to, it was like a Greek tragedy. And then they just kind of randomly throw out one of the three major tragedies, Aeschylus, Euripides, Sophocles, at random. Usually what they're talking about is Oedipus the King by Sophocles. But they rarely specify that. Or they'll say Euripides and then make a reference to Oedipus. And Greek tragedy is much more than just Oedipus is amazing. It is the best of the Greek tragedies. But I feel like Greek tragedy gets reduced to just, a couple of ideas from Oedipus around, sort of the being the agent of one's own destruction. The other one I'll add is that the character of Nora from A Doll's House by Ibsen, I think there's a tendency, and it's been going on for over a century now, where almost any strong female character is sometimes, she's like Nora, or her choice for freedom becomes like that of Nora in A Doll's House. And I don't know that everybody's read A Doll's House. Nora certainly does find freedom in A Doll's House, but there's so much going on in that play. Prompt 6, HMS Sloop the Asp from Persuasion. Quite worn out and broken up, I was the last man who commanded her. Show us a book that is looking worse for the wear. Well, this is of no doing of my own. And some of you may have seen this on Instagram, but this is On Ugliness by Umberto Eco, and it's not the ugliness that is the worst for the wear. A great friend of mine, John, whose Instagram handle is @Mupplewick, had his shelves collapse, and you can see this edition here. The dust jacket was torn, and that, of course, can just be fixed with tape. But the actual spine has some damage here, and so he sent this to me, and my daughters and I are going to repair it this weekend. It's going to be an exciting little family task. Prompt 7, Northanger Abbey. An abbey, yes, it was delightful to be in an abbey, but she doubted as she looked around the room whether anything within her observation would have given her the consciousness. Name a book that wasn't as creepy or dramatic as you thought it would be, and that is The Ruined Map by Kobo Abe. Not because it's a bad book, but because on the back, this is the sentence on the back. In The Ruined Map, Kobo Abe fashioned a literary crime novel that combines the narrative suspense of Chandler with the surreal imagery of Kafka and the psychological acuity of Dostoevsky, which would have made this the greatest crime novel ever written. And it's not. It's very good. It's like a 4.5-star read out of 5, not 10. But that sentence sets it up for failure. And it's quite a good book. Prompt 8, Portsmouth from Mansfield Park, which I'm reading. The smallness of the house and thinness of the walls brought everything so close to her that added to the fatigue of her journey and all their recent agitation. She hardly knew how to bear it. Name a book that disappointed you when you revisited it. I try not to dwell on the negative, but I will add that This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald is not nearly as compelling at 30-ish as it was at 19. I don't know if it was me or Fitzgerald. Prompt 9, Kellynch Hall from Persuasion. Principal seat, Kellynch Hall, in the county of Somerset. Name a book from your ancestral home. You might be surprised, but I'm going with A Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. You're wondering if I'm from Mars. I'm not. But Edgar Rice Burroughs was stationed at Fort Grant in Arizona, my home state, when he started dreaming up the Martian landscape that would be in the John Carter of Mars books. And so that desert landscape of southeastern Arizona is very much present in these books. But if you're thinking, like we were talking about your ancestral home, Jack, well, my paternal grandmother was from North Arkansas. So Winter's Bone by Daniel Woodrell would be a great choice, and that was actually in Tilly's original video. Prompt 10, Pemberley from Pride and Prejudice. They had now entered a beautiful walk, by the side of the water, and every step was bringing forward a nobler fall of ground. Yeah. Name a book that you are ready to dive into. Well, next month, from my top 9 TBR, I look forward to reading Q Miaojin. I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing that. Her final book, Last Words from Montmartre. And this is a book that I think is gonna. I'm reading this as much to see, what she does in her final book and the ways she experiments with the language and the structure of narrative, but really to empathize and to try and get a sense of her last words. This was her final book. And of what her experiences were like, because they're not experiences I can really share from my own background and my own life, but it's a book that I'm certainly interested in looking forward to. And then in September, I'm going to be reading Jerusalem by Alan Moore with Noah from Everyone Who Reads It Must Converse. So I'm doing a little Northampton warm-up. Mansfield Park is part of that. So I'm looking forward to digging into this with him. So this was the Jane Austen at Home. Oh, there's a bonus question. Which of these households would you most like to live in? I feel like I'm kind of married to Eleanor from Sense and Sensibility in the best ways possible, though I'm not an Edward. So I'll probably go with Sense and Sensibility. I'd like to inhabit that novel. And I forgot that I was supposed to start by tagging people participating in Jane Austen July. Most of them have been tagged, but Dario at Motley Reads, I don't think he's been tagged. And I know he participated last year, and I think he really enjoyed it. And then I'm also going to tag Jordan Parsons, who is participating in Jane Austen July by not participating. He made that clear in an earlier video this year. So there we go, the Jane Austen at Home tag. I hope you're having a great week at your home. See you later.